Is Upwork a scam? I'm going to tell you one thing. It's not a scam, but in a lot of ways, it's not as good as it looks. Can you find jobs on Upwork? Can you sustain a good, fun career on Upwork? Absolutely. Is it going to be as easy as it looks? Not necessarily. There's a lot of jobs on Upwork. If you're a web developer, you're going to be able to find jobs that look interesting, that are fun, that you can do from home. And that's amazing because it can allow you to work from home and have an amazing life. What's not really as good on Upwork are a few things. First of all, you need to understand that you're going to make less money probably per hour on Upwork than you could do freelancing elsewhere. One of the reasons for that is the Upwork fee. The client has to pay, I believe, 10% of all that they pay to Upwork, which means that you make less money than what the client's paying. This is all fair and good because obviously Upwork does help you to find jobs. However, you also need to understand that Upwork has sort of a reputation where it's the place where you go if you want to find Indians or people from third world countries who are willing to build websites or build things for you for cheaper than what you could get with employees in the US, Canada, or other developed country. So you need to understand a lot of the people you will find on Upwork are not willing to pay you even minimum wage. A lot of them are looking for workers for $5 an hour, and so you need to learn to be able to spot these people and only start applying as much as you can to real jobs, not just jobs given by people who are looking for cheap Indians willing to be cheap labor. It is not a question of you start at $6 an hour, you will transition to 10 to 15 to 20 to 35. That's not really how it works. Finding low-paying clients and finding high-paying clients are two very different skills, and getting good at finding low-paying jobs will not help you find high-paying jobs. So you need to learn immediately to spot the good paying opportunities and only learn to go after these opportunities. The other thing you need to know is that if you want to be able to apply to a lot of jobs, you will have to pay for what is called connects. On Upwork, you can only apply to a certain number of jobs for free. A very small number of jobs, if you want to be able to apply to a lot of jobs and increase the chances that you get hired, you need to pay money to get currency that allows you to send proposals to more job offers. The problem with that is that if you want to be able to get high-paying jobs, you will typically have to apply to way more jobs than you can apply to for free. So you need to be willing to spend some money to be able to get jobs. And at this point, you need to ask yourself, is this really the way that you want to be freelancing? Upwork can be an amazing platform, but there's also other opportunities for you to be able to freelance, right? There's amazing jobs on Upwork, really awesome projects, awesome companies that you could end up working with that you couldn't find anywhere else. However, there's also awesome other projects elsewhere, and it's easier to make a lot of money using other freelancing strategies. Upwork is not a scam. However, you also need to be aware that on freelancing sites, there are a lot of scammers. You don't only need to be able to filter out the jobs that look like people who are not willing to pay a lot of money because they're not worth your time. You also need to be able to filter out scam jobs. And typically, there's a lot of red flags that you can look out for that allow you to see scammers. And I recommend that you learn these red flags because by learning them, you will be able to avoid jobs where you work and end up not getting paid or not getting paid all the money that you are owed by the end. If you want to learn how to spot scammers on Upwork, I'll put a link to a video in the description where I share with you the most common types of Upwork scammers, and they are definitely common enough that you can see in the comments on these videos that a lot of people are experiencing scammers on Upwork. Alternatively, if you want to know how I find clients as a web developer, I'll also include a link to a playlist of 3 videos where I share with you my method of finding jobs using mechanical outreach. If you're interested, go check that out. It's definitely the most effective method that I have tried out personally to find jobs as a web developer, so go check that out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next videos.